You're listening to The Next 15, a 15-minute podcast show for the binge listener covering random topics such as relationships, current news, and everyday life issues. My name is Trey North, and for the next 15 minutes, I hope to make you laugh, educate, and inspire you. Everyone is making resolutions for the beginning of the year, especially when it comes to being more healthy and getting fit. In this episode, we'll be sharing personal testimonies. That's right, I have a co-host, but we'll be sharing testimonies that has changed our outlook on living a more healthy lifestyle, as well as sharing some of our tips on getting your body back into shape. Join me for the next 15 minutes for an episode that will hopefully motivate and inspire you to change your outlook on your own personal health. Joining me here on this episode of The Next 15 is my co-host, who's a mother, substitute teacher, broadcast editor, pastor, you name it. She wears a multiple number of hats. But to me, she's my beautiful wife of 10 years, Marie North. Marie, welcome to The Next 15 podcast show, and thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited about being here today.
So it's the beginning of January, and everyone is making all types of New Year's resolutions. And one of the top resolutions I found on the internet is to lose weight and exercise more. And in fact, if you do go online and check it out and research it, it states it there. You know, those are the top two. So everybody starts off strong, and eventually, unfortunately, they don't follow through and they find themselves back in the same situation year after year. So you tell me, what do you think the reasons are, or if there is a reason? I'm pretty sure there is because it happens, but what reasons do you feel like people start off strong but basically fall off?
Well, I think there are a multitude of reasons why people do that. Number one is commitment level. You know, sometimes we start off strong, like you said, and we're just like, oh gosh, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be committed. But then when it gets kind of tough and you get kind of busy, your commitment level seems to drop a little bit. And so it's kind of like tug of war. What am I going to choose? I'm going to choose to work out, or I'm going to choose to go throughout my day doing my normal routine. So number one to me is the commitment level. Number two, like I stated a while ago, would probably be getting busy. You know, we get kind of busy in regular everyday life with
That's
work
true.
and kids. Yeah. And so we just kind of get to the point where we have to kind of, you know, slough off some stuff, you know.
Slough off some stuff?
Slough off. That's a new word for y'all.
Slough off some stuff.
That's
okay.
a new word for y'all.
Slough off.
Yeah.
But no, you know, I get what you're saying. And those are great reasons, and some of those reasons are valid. I mean, when you get too busy, but you know, I always find out, you know, it always seems to me that people make time for what they really want to do.
Yeah. You
know, so if you know, it's the magnitude, or it's the importance level, if you will. You know, if it's important to you, you'll make it happen. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to go out to the movies, you're busy, you'll slide that somewhere into your schedule, into your Palm Pilot, mm-hmm. or you'll find a way to get something done. Mm-hmm. You know, when you really, really, truly want to do it. Mm-hmm. And then another reason that I've heard was that it's as far as getting fit. You know, we're talking about working out, but eating is a big part of that too. A lot of people say that eating healthy is so expensive because, you know, it's so easy mm-hmm. to go to some of those restaurants out there that offer food for just $1 mm-hmm. or $2. Yeah. And it's easy to just go in there and get something and grab something versus going in and getting fruits and vegetables. Because when we shop, when I go, and I hate going to the grocery store with you.
When do you go?
But I'm saying when I do go, and then I'm looking in the basket, and we got $100 worth of groceries, and ain't nothing in there but fruits and vegetables and nuts and berries.
Well, food is higher now than it used to be. So really, no matter what you put in the basket, your grocery bill is going to be higher than it used to be back in the past. Granted, you know, you got to think about it. if this food is so cheap, what's in it or what's not in it? You know, I'd rather do quality food and sacrifice in other areas of my life to make sure that my health is on point versus, you know, buying cheaper stuff that may not be good for me.
That's true. So you could either pay now or pay later.
Yeah, you're going to pay now or pay later. Like you said, you're going to either pay at the grocery store or you're going to pay at the doctor's.
Yeah, that's true. And that's funny you brought that up. And I don't want to spoil the moment, but, you know, that's kind of what happened to us. I mean, or me in my situation. I was always a skinny kid when I grew up. And then after you know, I got married to you. Somehow I gained about 30 or 40, 50 pounds. You was cooking
true,
everything.
Not true. He wasn't skinny like he was in high school. I tell you that because I've seen pictures. When I met him, he didn't look like the pictures.
I was fine in high school. No, I'm just playing. But for real, no. But like for me, it caught up with me. You know, and it's not your fault. I mean, I mean, you cooked it, but I ate it.
But you got to think about it. I started changing cooking habits.
That's true. That's true. But what I'm really trying to say is that, you know, I had the pay now or pay later. It kind of hit us. You know, it was a home for us back in April of 2018, which wasn't long ago, about 6 or 7 months ago. You know, I had a health challenge. I was eating everything. I was eating the fast food, the dollar menus. I was eating whatever, you know, and I know you were eating healthy. You always eat healthy. But, you know, and you would encourage me, but, you know, I wasn't there yet. And what got me there was one day we just went to the movies, and I won't ever forget it. We were with your parents and we were watching a movie. Yeah. And I was feeling fine. We had eaten pizza right before the movie. We went to the movies. We had little snacks there for the movies and whatnot. And then immediately after the movie, I had a heart attack. Yeah. I jumped in the car with my chest just started hurting, like just pow, just like that. And from the movies, I went directly to the emergency room and found out, you know, that I was having the heart attack, and found out that my blood sugar was almost, was a diabetic coma, almost in diabetic coma. They were shooting me up with morphine. It was, they did insulin and they did nitrate. It wasn't morphine. Oh, nitrogen. Time. Yeah, nitrate. And to get his blood pressure down. Yeah, my blood pressure was up. And so I went from the emergency room. Then I went into the hospital for 4 days. And that was the worst time of my life. I've never been in the hospital ever in my life. And, you know, not trying to draw it out, but long story short, I ended up being diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Oh my God, what else did I have? Well, you know, they said I was obese because of my weight. And so I went home with about 10 medications. And I was scared to death. Not to mention that I was feeling so bad in the hospital. Yeah. You know, you lay there for 4 days, and I had a few of my friends, shout out to my friends and family who came and visited me there. But it was a very dark time in my life, and it was very hard for me. But one thing that I did make up my mind to do was that if I ever got out, I told doctors and the nurses that took good care of me, big shout out to Trinity Mother Francis, who took care of me. But I told them that I never, ever want to see them again unless it was in Walmart or someplace like that. Because I was 4 days, and it wasn't nice, you know, and I'm just being honest with you. So I made up my mind that I was going to change my lifestyle. I was going to do something different. And how old are you? I am 46 years old. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not that old, you know, and, you know, I certainly don't look my age, but I was pretty big, you know, and so I made up my mind that I was going to eat right. And so eat right and work out. And so I started off small, you know, so for those who, you know, you might be overweight like I was, and you can't run, but you can walk. So if you can remember, I was out there every morning walking up and down. Start somewhere. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. So I was out there walking up and down our streets, and then, eventually it turned into running. And, and I was determined to get myself off of those medications because they were making me feel bad. Mm-hmm. I'm taking sugar pills. Praise God that I did not have to ever take an insulin shot. The insulin is still in the refrigerator. We just saw it the other day, and I was like, I'm never taking that. Mm-hmm. But, I never had to. I think I might have used one nitrogen pill that they gave me, but I was on all these medications, and I was determined to get off of them. So I got first outside in my own neighborhood and started walking and running. And from there, I went to the gym. And so, 6 months later, I lost 40 pounds. Mm-hmm. People that it was almost like a night and day. People saw me one day, and then the next day they was like, wow, I was like, no, I'm not on crack. I was in the hospital. We didn't really tell anybody until later on, but I was, oh my God, I had lost I've lost 40 pounds, almost 40 pounds now. And so I made a complete 180. My doctor got me off of those medications. I'm down to like 3 medications that I'm taking, and the rest are natural vitamins and things of that nature. But it's because I made a conscious decision to do something about my lifestyle, my health. And that was to work out. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I'm in the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I'm running 2 to 3 miles now where I couldn't even barely walk, that many miles, So I started off somewhere, and then we started the diet, food, the changes in the diet, and so forth. Yeah,
we did the food change before he started working out because that was a must. That was a necessity. He could have worked out and did all of that, but that still wouldn't have helped him to get where he is now. So food plays a big part.
Yeah, I think it's I hear 80-20. It's 80% what you put in. And maybe I'm wrong on the numbers, but they say it's mostly what you put in your body and then your exercise. Yeah. Speaking of that, maybe some of the listeners want to know what we eat. What are the things you eat? Because you are I'm not supposed to ask a lady her age.
I'm 38. I'll be 39 this year.
And I'm going to tell you right now, she doesn't 39. Look it. The big 39. You're almost 40.
Yes, we'll hold on to those 30s as long as we can.
But you know what? I'm honestly, you look amazing. Everybody that knows you look amazing. You look like a little kid. You have, and you've been small. I've been with you for I don't know how many years, and I don't even think you've even gained a few pounds. I mean, I don't know.
I've gained a little, not much, but I've gained a little.
Well, you look fantastic. So what are you doing? I gave you my testimony. I've gave everybody, the listeners, my testimony. But what are you doing? What are you eating? Because it looks like no matter what you eat, you're staying the same size.
Well, I try to keep a pretty clean diet as much as possible. I do have my days where I eat something, that's kind of iffy. Like just a few minutes ago, I ate a Nutty Buddy, But for the most part, I try to stay pretty much plant-based. I do some cheese sometimes, If I do dairy, it's normally cheese, maybe once a day, if that. And I eat a lot of broccoli. I eat a lot of green beans, a lot of salads and different things like that. So mostly vegetables and fruit. I do have one little bad habit that I'm working on.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's the jasmine rice. And it's not the brown rice, it's the white rice, so it's not the good rice. But I'm trying to...
And it stinks, too.
He thinks everything stinks, y'all.
Your food stinks. Her food stinks, everybody. It really does to me.
They don't want me to go into talking about dead carcass and eating that. But
no, that's another show.
Everybody cringes when I say that. Well, you're eating this, and they're like, oh, no, don't say that.
You're listening to the Next 15 podcast show with Trey North. Join me in the next episode for part 2 of a testimony fit for 2019 with my co-host Marie North to find out some of the foods that we're eating to maintain our weight and some natural fat burners that will help you shred a little bit off that tummy area. Head over to Facebook or Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com, and follow me at Trey North, where you can listen to and download episodes, as well as get notifications of new podcasts. Until then, thank you for listening